Welcome back to the Everyone's Different podcast. My name is Tristan Jass.
And I'm Young Trench. Today we have an amazing guest. We're here with Lyssy Noel. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Pretty good.
Dude, I'm excited to have you on the podcast. We recently had your boyfriend on, SHOOTABIRDie, and he has a crazy story. But he was telling us a lot about you.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And we were like, yo, we got to get her on, and we got to talk about these ghost stories and everything you've been doing. I think it's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to share some of my stories.
Yeah, it's definitely my kind of thing, too. That's the type of videos that I watch, all day.
Yeah, well, you watch, what's
Sam and Colby.
Yeah, and he's been telling me, he's like, bro, you got to, try to get in one of their videos or have them take you to, a haunted place.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I love Sam and Colby's videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just, I don't know. I want to do that shit. That'd be dope. I would freak out if some crazy shit happened.
Yeah, I even freak out if something crazy happens. There's, a limit for me. If
Yeah.
something's too much, I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, hell yeah. So how did you get started with all this stuff?
So with the ghost hunting or with, the YouTube content in general?
I would say just the start of your YouTube
okay.
Let's start
career.
from the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is a really, really long one. So
Okay.
I guess I'll start back to when I was living in Minnesota. I grew up there for 6 years in a small town called Elk River.
Okay.
I was playing sports at the time, and I loved playing video games and doing art. So I started doing animation, which was just cartoons and stuff.
You would make your own animations?
Yeah, I would draw on my tablet
Wow.
and just do little cartoons, and it was really fun. And my parents were like, you shouldn't be on YouTube, you're too young. I was in 5th grade, so
Okay.
I would always watch other YouTubers, and I was like, I want to do that. I watched Arcade Matt, which was this arcade YouTuber. I watched, some beauty channels like My Life is Ava, and I
Okay.
watched Jenna Marbles, which I'm sure you guys have heard of her.
course.
So I've always wanted to be like the other YouTubers.
Yeah.
So eventually I started sneaking on there. My parents were like, you are too young for this. And I remember it was finally when I moved out of Minnesota. I was a freshman. I moved to California, and I did not have a lot of friends in high school. So I was playing tennis full time. And on my side gig, I would just do beauty videos and arcade videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it was just for fun until they started blowing up. So eventually people were like, we love watching you play claw machines. You guys know what those are, right?
Yeah, of course.
Hell
Animal
yeah.
grabber machines or teaching kids how to win carnival prizes. I was always really good at that. So that actually started going so well for me. I hit 100K just doing arcade stuff.
Wow.
So that was where I started on YouTube, which is all carnival, arcades, and then COVID hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we all know that shut down all the arcades.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So they shut down for 2 years out in California. And at the time, I had 2 really good friends named Edward and Nicole, and they were the arcade craniacs. So we would do the arcade videos, but then Chuck E. Cheese was closing down, and we're like, why don't we do a video about that?
Yeah.
And that led to us making 3 a.m. skits where we would get this mascot and pretty much just pretend Chuck E. Cheese was coming out of the arcade to attack us.
Really?
And it kind of became a viral meme for a while. And then he did this one thing, I think, with the Among Us imposter at 3 a.m. And it went viral on TikTok. And we were just doing 3 a.m. skits. And then from there, I did haunted stuff because I was like, okay, this is fun, but I'm kind of tired of dressing up as Chuck E. Cheese and
of course.
making a skit.
Yeah. So then you just started doing your haunted stuff?
Yeah, it was a passion for me, but I just kind of branched into storytelling and reaction videos and doing more haunted videos like that where
Hell
I travel.
Yeah. So let's go back to when you moved to California in a brand new school pretty much. And what were some of your classmates thinking by you did they find out that you were making videos and stuff?
Yeah, my tennis team did, and they did not like it.
Really?
No.
They didn't like it?
No, they were not a fan.
Really? Were they being bullies kind of?
Yeah, I
towards you?
actually jumped off my first tennis team. I was the top player on the team. I was always on varsity.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I ended up leaving my first team and switching to a different school because the bullying got so bad.
Really?
Yeah, they found my channel and they would make side accounts and they would go on and type things and they would get a kick out of it. But
That's horrible.
it was horrible. There was times I wanted to quit. I
Yeah.
thought about deleting the channel because it just got really brutal.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, I dropped out of public school for a bit because of it.
Wow. Well, hey, I mean, shit, I'm sure that made you stronger by going through that for sure. We actually, we actually started a charity called Buckets Over Bullying.
That's good.
There was a young kid in Chicago. He was 15 years old. He ended up committing suicide.
Oh, that's awful.
Due to being bullied really bad on social media.
Yeah.
And I heard he was a big fan of mine and watched the channel and stuff and really loved basketball and sports. So we met with the parents and I was like, yo, let's, obviously this should have never happened. This is such a horrible thing, but like, let's try to make it into a positive and try to help save other kids' lives. Like if we could save one kid's life with this, then we've done our job, right? So
no, exactly.
So yeah, we started a charity called Buckets Over Bullying, but yeah.
Well, that's great that you guys did that.
I wanted to ask because you said before the podcast that you were just like, hell no, college isn't for me because obviously Trent's finishing college right now. Is that part of the reason that you didn't want to go to college or that you dropped out of college as well? Or did you just hate
she
school?
Was probably running up the money. She was like, I ain't doing this.
So yeah, what happened was that was at the peak of like where, okay, I'm in college, but my YouTube channel was doing so good. Mm-hmm. I was like, why would I stay in school if I can do this, put my full energy and effort into this and make like 10 times more than I would at what I was trying to do, which was graphic design or animation or film, which was what I was going for. So I decided, okay, I could risk dropping off and disappoint my family, or I can just continue to do YouTube. And I'm glad that I dropped out. And at the time too, my best friend at the time invited me to be a part of this like little thing for a while, which was like a group project where we played video games, and I ended up dropping out to go do that for a little bit, and then I stopped doing that and did my own thing more. So I'm glad that I did it.
Yeah, and what's kind of cool is now if you ever want to go back to like doing what you were in school for, you could you have a fan base for it now.
Yep, exactly.
So that's what would be dope about that.
Hell yeah. So we got to get into the haunted shit, man.
Okay.
I want to hear some shit. So I mean, shit, what should we ask?
All right. Well, first I'm just going to ask, who inspired you in this field? Because, like, there's a lot of people doing the haunted stuff on YouTube. Yeah. It's an extremely big community, which is crazy because I don't think a lot of people even know that this community is so big.
No, they don't. It's definitely a bigger community. I always watch Sam and Colby.
Yep.
And one of my good friends, Exploring with Josh, he inspired me a lot.
Yeah.
He gave me a lot of advice on equipment and stuff like that. And I just always watched that kind of content. I was always curious and like looking up like, haunted places. And even before I was filming it, I was going to these places like before I was doing all this because I liked it. And my best friend too, Inquisitor Master, she's doing a lot of haunted stuff. And at the time when I was hanging out with her, she would drag me along because she loved it even more than me. And I'd say she was a huge inspiration for me to like really see stuff because that was one of my biggest, paranormal experiences was with my best friend.
Yeah.
On this ship called the Queen Mary that we stayed for on a week in the most haunted room.
Hell yeah, Trent was telling us about that.
Yeah. So B340, is that what it is?
Yeah, B340. Ooh, that room.
Yeah.
So what's up with that room? Why is it the hauntedest room in the whole ship? What happened in there?
I would love to believe. I think there was a murder that took place in that room. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, from what I know, I think there's a decent amount of suicides in that room. I think there was a murder. Like there's a part in the room, I think like on a beam or whatever,
on the beam,
where
they have the history.
they have like stories written of what's happened in that room, and like people write that when they have like a crazy experience or something. So a lot of stuff has happened in that room. So it could just be like a lot of energy that's just bunched up in that room and negative.
Yeah, and they have a Ouija board in that room
Yeah,
too,
exactly.
Which makes it even creepier.
It's
just sitting out while you sleep at night.
Oh, really? They have it there?
Yeah, they have it there.
Damn, if I seen a Ouija board, I'm like,
yeah. I mean, you gotta think, if you're like one of these hotels and like everyone's coming there because it's haunted, you might as well play into it a little bit.
Yeah,
like
they were wanting to.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna play into it because it's just gonna make them even more money.
Hell yeah. So how was your experience on the ship?
So that was one of the first nights that really like opened my eyes up to like, oh wow, like ghosts are real. I had one other really like, I'd say key moment for me before that. But this night specifically, I remember I was sleeping with my friends in the room and I was like asleep. It was probably 4 a.m. and I woke up and my legs were just shaking uncontrollably and I couldn't move. And I remember just being like held down, and my friend freaked out. She's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "No, I can't move." And then I just like started crying, like something affected me, but I couldn't see anything. So it was just like I knew something was there holding me down because I could not physically get up, and it was not like sleep paralysis because I've had that. So I don't know. It freaked me out so bad that we left the room after that. I was like, I'm not going back there because I was scared.
So was this for a video? I assume you didn't get that part on video if it was, but.
Nope.
Oh, you just went?
They just wanted to go hang out. They loved just staying at haunted places. We weren't even filming it back then.
You guys weren't even rolling the camera.
No, that was before it.
Imagine they got on video.
Yeah. Also,
oh my gosh.
That's crazy. You guys just went for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. If that was me, I'd probably be shitting myself, like literally.
I know. That's why I was like, the second Trent told us what you did, we were like, I initially was like, Tristan has to go with you to something because I feel like he'd be the most scared person that you could ever have on there, and it would be so entertaining.
It's fun.
Probably it is. It's like, it's almost like probably like an adrenaline rush, right? Like you're like, oh shit, like what's about to happen? Like
your eyes like to play tricks on you too at night. But I mean, I've definitely seen things and heard things and just gotten evidences where it's like, okay, you can't make that up, you know? It's just too surreal.
Yeah, see, I fully believe in stuff like that, but it's interesting because, okay, we have you know what the Biltmore is, I assume, right?
No, I actually don't.
Okay, so the Biltmore is like super, super haunted. And I think it's like top 10 in America or something.
Wow, okay.
Sam and Colby went there before.
Wait, in Miami?
Yeah, that one.
That's what they were talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we were just in Miami a couple days ago, and they were talking about this, but I actually had no idea what you guys were talking about.
Yeah, so this is what's interesting. We had a worker that we were talking to that used to work there at this restaurant, and she said there's supposedly like a little kid that will be riding like the bellhops, like I don't know what it's called, like the whatever moves on wheels, something like that.
Oh, the thing where they put your bags
on?
The luggage thing.
Yeah, the luggage cart thing.
Yeah.
And she said that she saw this kid, and the kid was just laughing at her. But then we were talking to our friend Kyle, and Kyle stayed in that hotel without knowing that it was haunted at all, so he had no experience. So I always wonder if it could partially be your brain obviously tricking you, or it could be the fact that maybe a spirit doesn't react if you don't give it energy.
Yeah, I always wonder that too, because I know a lot of the times where I bring friends who are like, I really want to see something.
Yeah.
Like, they just don't see it. Like, I know, for instance, my boyfriend's like, I want to see something. He's always like going in with that energy, like, oh, I want to see it. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not how it works. And it's kind of like when you least expect it. And I feel like for me, I'm a little spiritually sensitive. My last two, the last 3 ones I went to, there was 2 of them where I actually saw physical apparitions, and that hadn't happened for years. And it freaked me out. Like, I almost was like, okay, do I really want to be doing this?
Yeah.
Wait, so what do you mean by that? Like, what did you see?
So on one of the trips, it was a place called the Black Swan Inn. Sam and Colby went there.
Yep.
And there was this barn, and the lady told us, like, hey, there's this barn where there's this spirit of a man that's often seen in there. And I didn't, think much of it. We were in there, and in the corner, I saw these long, dark legs just walk out of the barn, and there was no one in there. And I screamed full blown, like, it was, I don't know if my friend got on camera because it was for her video, but I left after that, and I was like,
See, if I was there and I saw that shit.
That's why you need to be there. I think it would be so entertaining. Please take him at some point because I would love to see it.
We talked to your boyfriend Trent about possibly looking into the Kemper Center. I think we should go there.
I agree. I would love to do it.
And I'm sure, didn't you say you know people there that would be down to let us come in there?
Yeah, the people, when I went there last time, said that they have wanted people to do something there. So I think it would be awesome. I don't know when the next time you would come back here would be, because I know you leave pretty soon, but we would need to do it.
That sounds cool. I love investigating new places, and I like going into not knowing much and then trying to see what I can figure out.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with like Estes method. And
yeah, exactly. Oh, so you do the Estes method?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What is the What is it?
Yeah.
Estes method?
Estes method.
Estes method. What is that?
So I have spirit boxes and I connect them to headsets where I can't hear anything, or the person wearing the headsets is connected to the spirit box. They can't hear anything but the spirit box, and then they'll say what they hear. So if there's a word that comes in like hi or boy, girl, they'll say what they hear, and then one person asks questions across in another room, like about the place or to the spirit they're trying to communicate to get evidence of what happened.
Oh shit! Yeah. And the spirit box will say it to that person with the headphones.
Yeah, so they'll just say it, but
that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, but and they'll say it, but obviously they don't know what you're asking them because they have the headphones on. True. So if it matches up, that's when it's a little fucking scary.
Yeah,
it's scary.
And they're in a whole different room. You said.
Yeah, you can put them in a whole different room or across where they can't hear you.
Bro.
So
we got to do that shit.
That's what I'm saying.
So how much equipment do you usually go into a haunted place with? Like,
honestly, not too much. I usually just bring dowsing rods. I have a REM pod, have an EMF. I have this one little teddy bear that lights up when something hits it.
Oh yeah.
I have little flashlights, some of them that can turn on and off.
Okay.
Spirit boxes, I have a few of those, and that's kind of usually what I roll with.
Honestly, a pretty decent amount of stuff right there.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is that so? Like, I really have no idea about any of that stuff. So is that is all that stuff expensive to get, or like?
Definitely the REM pods and stuff. Like, I know there's a website called like Ghost Stop, and it gets a little pricey. If you buy the package, it could be $400, $300 to get all of that.
Okay.
But some of it gets way more. Like, there's Connect cameras, which like read full body apparitions, and those can be up to like $1,000. So
wow.
Is that the thing that, I don't know if you've been watching Sam McCulber recently, but is that the thing that they've been using?
Yeah, it's like an iPad that
Okay.
Those are expensive.
Yeah.
So that shows like your body heat and shit, or
it like will
what does that
make
do?
Okay, so if I point the camera on you right now, it would have like a stick figure where your body is. So like if it catches something like that, it will just do it, even if it wasn't a human. But like I could do it on you and it would show.
So you could be filming nothing,
and there could be something.
There could be a stick figure there, and you'd be like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah,
it's scary. My friend has one of those, and it's pretty cool.
Bruh.
So is this a friend? Were you guys friends before you both even did anything like that, or did you become friends through the social media thing?
Yeah, we became, I think, friends through Twitter, and we met at VidCon, and we were very similar, and we just happened to have all the same interests, ghost hunting, and the way we dressed, and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool.
Okay, I'm gonna get off ghost hunting for a second, just because you mentioned Twitter, and I just asked you guys where you and Trent met. So let me get a rundown of how you and your boyfriend met each other.
Okay, yeah. So one day I was just on Twitter, and I don't even open my message requests very often.
Yeah,
so he got lucky.
Hey, my boy was pulling up, shooting the shot. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think he like DM'd me one day, and he was like, "Yo, I see that you do 3am videos or something like that." He's like, "We do video games, kind of like that." And I was like, yeah, I should jump on the video game with you guys sometime and do that. Because I had a gaming channel where I just did like Minecraft or whatever. But he plays Scariest mod. And I had the game, but I never really played it. So I jumped on there with him. And we started playing Discord games all the time and got really, really close. And eventually we met up in Orlando. And then we started dating.
And that's how long after you guys met did you start dating?
I feel like that was like probably a good 8-9 months after, something like that.
Oh, so you guys built a friendship first and then started dating. That's what's up. That's the way to go, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That'd be crazy, because I just had a friend. I know I told you this off camera, but I had a friend who just got married recently. We were at his wedding, and he met his girlfriend through Twitter.
Oh, wow.
Same shit. So.
Oh, yeah. I remember, didn't he say he met his girlfriend by looking up like the hashtag tall girl Twitter or something? Because our friend is like, he's like 6'10".
That's funny.
So he was like, shit, I need a tall one.
Chris London, him and his girlfriend, her name's Bree. She they just had a baby too. Shout out to them. That's gonna be a 7-footer baby. How tall is Bree, bro? She 6'5", maybe.
They're both tall. I would say 6'5". I would say 6'5", damn near,
maybe 6. I don't know.
That's funny.
For a girl, she's very tall.
Yeah.
He's tall. So, but yeah. So I got a question for you.
Uh-huh.
What was the most scariest encounter you've ever had? Do you think it was the
Queen
ship?
Mary?
No, it was going to be my first awakening to believe in spirits, actually. And this was, once again, before I was even doing this. So basically, I didn't even believe in ghosts. Like, I thought it was a bunch of, I don't know. I just didn't believe in it. And we had moved into this new house. Like, this was years ago. I was in high school. It was back when I was playing tennis. And the people that sold it to us were kind of weird. Like, they had left one book behind, and I think it was Pet Cemetery, and they had all this like alien equipment in the backyard. I don't know, we always thought it was weird. But I think one night, like, we thought someone was breaking into the house. It sounded like someone had like poured marbles, released it on the floor, and we thought someone was trying to break into the house. And like sometimes things would go missing and like doors would slam, and we're like, oh, that's weird, but we never really thought much of it. One night I got home from tennis practice, and I was just walking in my house like every other day, like not thinking anything. And I looked to my left and I saw a full body apparition of a ghost. Like, it was like an Indian ghost. And I just remember like screaming at the top of my lungs, and I was crying, and like I freaked out so much, I like kind of lost control of myself. Like, I threw this like fountain. I remember it was like this mini fountain, like at it, like get away. And I went outside screaming, and my neighbors next door came out, and they're like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And I was like, I just saw a ghost in my house. We're like, oh yeah, we're on top of Indian burial grounds. We have one in our house too. And we know that. Yeah. Shit. And they were like, we have holy water on hand. Like, we have a lot of like paranormal issues here. I don't know if the seller told you guys, because we had only lived there for like 6 months until this happened. Wow. They were like, yeah, he used to have the problem with that as well, like where doors would slam and like they would see the ghost of an Indian man. And I was like, okay. So I definitely felt crazy after that. Like, my neighbors to the left of me were like, oh, hell no, like that ain't real. Like, they never had issues, but everyone I told at the time, like, they thought I was crazy.
Wow.
Especially, you know, growing up in like a pretty spiritual family. Like, yeah, they believed in like demons, but not like ghosts. So people thought I was insane. And after that, I got more into it, like trying to like look up like, oh, how to prove like ghosts are real and like stuff like that, because I felt crazy. I didn't even want to believe it, you know?
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's a huge population that obviously probably believe in ghosts, and then there's probably a huge population that don't. So how could you prove?
How can you prove it? Yeah, exactly.
Wow, man.
Is that part of the reason that you do it, is just wanting to prove to yourself that there's something?
Definitely like trying to prove to other people, like kind of like waking up people, because definitely there are spirits, and I've seen them. And you know, as crazy as I felt at the time, like now that I've gone through all this and been to all the places and felt different experiences, it's like I 100% believe in ghosts. Like, I know that they're there, and people can think I'm crazy, but until they go and experience it themselves, I mean, can't really judge. You know.
So after finding out that like Indian information, did you like research the house that you were in, and or like look up any you know, past things of what happened, like with the owner and shit?
I definitely looked up the land, and it was true that it was above Indian burial grounds, and a lot of people in that same area said that their houses had issues since the house was built atop where they were buried, like bodies and stuff, a long time ago.
Wow.
So we ended up selling that house because it got worse. I remember after that happened to me, I was so scared that I left to my grandparents' house.
Oh, wait. You guys actually sold the house?
Yeah, we sold the house because
of this?
Yeah, things started getting worse after we had that one experience. Like, it got worse.
And your parents had seen stuff too, or like had experiences?
Yeah, my mom saw like a floating head one day, and she was like, oh, hell no, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Whoa. Have you like thought about going back to the house or figuring out who the owner is now? That'd be crazy. I have
thought about like knocking on the door and being like, hey, it's haunted. But I don't want to be that person like, yo, I used to live here and he was there. They'd probably be like, she's crazy. But I've definitely been tempted, you know, to be like,
think
yo.
about that. What if you go back and they're like, oh my God, we're experiencing the same thing, but nobody believes us.
That would be funny.
That would be wild. That'd be like a movie if you did that shit.
That would be crazy. I'm curious of who lives there now. I know my old friend at the time lives 2 houses over. So
oh, really?
Yeah, she lives over there.
Oh, still currently?
Still currently. I think her family does. Yeah.
You should hit her up. Be like, yo. Yeah. Because that would be wild.
That would be insane.
Try and set that up for a video, because that would be nuts.
That would be insane.
Man, title and thumbnail would go stupid.
Dude, that's crazy. So, and you for sure like knew it was an Indian when you first saw that?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So, are you seen this? It was literally like, how are you able to see to the point where like I know this dude's like an Indian.
He had towels over his neck, and it was just like he was short. He was wearing like the native outfit. Yeah, if that makes sense. You could see the feathers. Like, it was all like clear. It was like, imagine like kind of like a transparent outline with a lot of detail. Like you could see his face, his wrinkles. It was horrifying. Like after that, I was traumatized.
So literally like a picture of someone where you just turn down the opacity type thing.
Oh, it was creepy. Yeah,
that's
it was like
insane.
that, but like super see-through.
Yeah, that's insane.
Damn. When you saw this Indian guy.
Yeah.
And then you said you were talking to your neighbors who then confirmed that it was Indian burial grounds. But you had no idea that it was.
No, I didn't
know
that.
So when they first initially told you that, and then you kind of connected like, holy shit, like I just saw an Indian.
Yep.
Was that like a freak out moment? Because I would have booked a flight, honestly.
Yeah, the second that connected, like, I would be freaked out.
I was crying, I was kind of just mentally distraught. I remember calling all my friends, like the neighbor next door. I immediately called her crying, I just saw this. And she's like, calm down, like ghosts aren't even real, like you're crazy. And then I remember I called my grandparents and like they came and picked me up. I was like, I'm not staying here tonight. Like, see, you know, I was over it.
I totally feel like I would believe you, especially because like the Indian thing. Like if you just were like, I saw something, it's the fact that they confirmed it with that. There's no way I would be able to deny what you saw.
Hell yeah. No, that shit's wild. Have you ever gotten on any of your videos, or even not on camera, like in full communication with a ghost or a spirit?
Like communication as in like a voice, a EVP, or like a picture, or
I mean any of that. Like have you talked to a spirit before through like one of the boxes or whatever?
Well, yeah, they usually do talk. I mean, there are some locations I go to where it's dead silent. Like there's been investigations where the first half, like you get nothing, like nothing's touching your equipment, nothing's coming through. And then there's been places where you get a lot of words and things add up. Recently we went to a place called the Jefferson Hotel. Definitely worth a look up. And I filmed a video in this room called the Doll Room. And I remember we did for my friend's channel like a spirit box session as well, and we were in total different rooms. And she said after I came back, because I was doing the headphones in the Estes method and I was answering things, she told me that I answered everything that she asked, because she had a walkie-talkie, so every time I'd hear something I would say it so she'd hear my live response. So that was really creepy. So it was like a full conversation she was having with a ghost. So those do happen.
Shit.
And there's been times where we look back at EVPs. I remember a while ago we went on the USA's oldest boat. I'd love to remember the name of it. It's in San Diego by the airport. I forgot the name of it. But I got a really, really clear EVP on my phone, and I heard this in real time too. There was a whisper in my ear, and it was like, hey, like pretty deep, and all my friends heard it. We turned around, we're like, who was that? And we played it back on the phone, and we realized our audio captured it. So
holy shit.
Damn. So I just want to ask, while you're recording, what do you think is the most like damning evidence that you've ever gotten, like where you're just like, I don't even see how the viewers couldn't believe this?
That's a really good one.
Because I know it's hard, because no one can through a camera. Anything could be fake.
Anything could be fake.
It isn't, but it could be. I
would say, man, I've been a lot of haunted places, but probably I'd like to say my friend's video, but that's not mine. But for my videos, one of the recent ones I did at Miss Molly's, it was like you couldn't even make it up. We have the REM pods. People are going to be like, oh, they touched the REM pods, but you see it in the corner and there's nothing above it. And every time we'd ask a question like, hey, is this Miss Molly that we're speaking to? It would go boom, green, and then it would stop. We're like, can you stop? And it would stop. So it was like almost like they were right there and they were touching it and then not touching it.
Happening right in front of you.
Right in front of me on camera. Yeah, that video was crazy how they communicated with us.
Yeah, see, REM pods are like a weird one, because I've never understood how that could be fake, because you can literally walk up, put your hand by it, and that's the only thing that's going to make it go off. Like, it's not just like a piece of dust is going to fly past and that's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
So those are like really convincing to me.
Man, bro, this shit is so like interesting to me. I got like a million questions to ask you. has any like spirit like followed you, or?
I don't
like or followed anyone you were with home or some crazy shit?
I do not know. I know there's a few times where, you know, I've been on like my, what's it called, my Spirit Box app, and like it will say follow Lyssy. There was a time like on the boat, I remember there's another EVP we got and it said follow Lyssy, and it was a voice. So it freaked us out. And then we've had like streaks of bad luck after certain locations. Like I know one of our last trips, we my friends like threw holy water on us after. We're like, oh hell no, like because we had a problem where the Tesla broke down, and then we had all these like creepy like weird occurrences. We're like, maybe something's following us. Like we were joking about it, but then we actually got scared. And
wait, so what do you mean the Tesla broke? What happened?
So we were on a long road trip at the Jefferson, and afterwards like we had,
that was after the Jefferson.
Yeah, right after the Jefferson. Okay. Just a bunch of stuff went wrong. I forgot exactly what all, but we had our Tesla there and it just completely broke down. So then we had to go get it towed, and then we were like, okay, and then we got an Uber, and the Uber was really weird, and then we got stranded somewhere else. We're like, maybe there is something wrong.
And the Tesla wasn't like dead or anything. It literally just broke down.
Yeah, it just broke down.
Wow. Yeah, because I have a Tesla. And I mean, mine has never just broke down.
Yeah, that's weird.
Damn.
And
so what happened? The battery exploded?
Yeah, the battery just was old and needed to be replaced, but it was just random that it broke down right after we filmed that.
Damn,
I was gonna say it's scary because like with spirits and stuff, the thing that they need to take is energy. So like if they're gonna take anything, it makes sense to take it from a Tesla battery.
They could drain a battery. They've drained camera batteries.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. They really can do that.
Oh, they drain camera batteries.
Drain camera batteries.
Have you been filming
and
all seen like a camera just die or something?
Yep, I've had chips corrupt where you can play the clip. I had one of the clips with my most evidence, actually. That reminds me. I was doing this place called The Basement in LA. It was an escape room. And there was a clip where I was like, can you guys finish the pattern? And I like knocked like 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And there was this loud knock. And that clip just completely got corrupted from my camera for no reason. It was the only clip in the whole video that was corrupted. And I was so mad about it.
See, like, does that happen to you for videos?
No.
That's why it's creepy to me. Cause
I mean, I've definitely, I deal with like, I have a thing upstairs with like 100 SIM cards in it that we've used over the years. But like, sometimes on the SIM card, there'll be like the end of it will get scratched or it'll be messed up, and make it corrupt that way. But nothing like that. Like,
that's why it freaks me out, because like it doesn't happen to other YouTubers. It's not like a common occurrence.
No.
Well, I mean, shit. I'm not going out and like saying like, hey, if there's something here with us,
No, but that's what I mean. It's like that
flicker the lights.
That wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen to you. That makes me believe more the fact that it wouldn't happen to you.
Yeah, but she's in the field, bro. You're actually there doing that.
Yeah,
shit.
They like to play with our equipment. Like they'll drain batteries. I'll charge all my batteries beforehand, and then all of a sudden battery's dead. Or our lights too. We recently did Goatman's Bridge, and that video actually is a great example of this. They killed 3 of our lights on our our light batteries. So every time we'd say the goat man, magically like a light would die. And I'd be like, okay.
Really?
Yeah, it was just killing our lights left and right. We had like 3 or 4, and we had to use our cell phone flashlights by the end of that because all of our lights were dead.
Damn, I would have been shitting myself.
Yeah, that's crazy, because that's also that's a well-known spot for sure. You said it wasn't that crazy for you.
No, it wasn't that scary besides the lights going out. Yeah. Like, it wasn't that bad.
So, okay, when you go to these places, do you tend to have like a tour guide, or are you going to these things like alone? And also, how much research are you doing before this so that you do know if you don't have a tour guide?
So that's a really, really good question, actually. So usually if it's like a building facility, like somewhere like a Queen Mary ship, or we rent it out and it's like a residence, like we'll get a tour from like the owners, and they'll tell us experiences that they've had, show us where to go and where's active. But places that are outside, like I just show up and I'll research, like, is it safe? Can you go alone at night? Where to go? Like the Goatman's Bridge, we just showed up alone, and we brought some extra guys to watch our back, because it is kind of scary going there at night, because apparently cults are out there doing some weird stuff too, but we didn't have any of that. So we'll just like bring people to watch our back. We've done abandoned buildings, like for my friend, we recently did, oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it. It was this abandoned hospital that was run by nuns that Sam and Colby had went to. And that was one of the worst places I've ever stepped into, just for like safety purposes, not even the hauntings. Like we were worried that someone was going to break in and hurt us. And at one point of the night, like I felt so uncomfortable because there was people like banging on windows, like physically trying to get in, and we didn't know what they wanted to do. I left and they had like an RV parked out. So I sat in the RV and they were in the church, like filming alone connected to this hospital. And they said they heard someone like dragging a shovel. So they were scared, you know. Didn't know.
You guys saw people there or was?
No, they heard like someone walking and dragging a shovel and they got the audio of it, but there was no one there. So we don't know if someone was actually going to try to break in and do something to us or if it was like a spirit or what.
Holy shit.
Yeah, see, that is one thing that's kind of scary in that field because like, okay, there's people that just want to explore, but there's also a lot of people that go to those places for creepy ass reasons.
Yep.
Like a lot of people are like, oh, we're gonna do some demonic ritual shit here, or we're gonna do our cult shit here.
Bro,
that's like one of the reasons that it's kind of scary going to those type of places.
Have you done anything with like demonic places or any shit like that?
I would say I've been to some places that have felt demonic, like the hospital. Like I got to the point where I didn't want to be there. I just felt sick. My friends had touched this coffin. They opened it up, and I just, as soon as they touched that, like I felt like this energy because I'm pretty spiritually sensitive, and I felt something brushed across my side, and I don't know. It just felt evil, so I didn't want to communicate with whatever was in there.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Because, I mean, you see all these movies, too. Like, I'm a fan of scary movies, like all the paranormal shit. Like, and you just think, like, fuck, like, could this happen like, IRL, like, in real life? Like, could this actually be a thing? So, I don't know. Have you heard of or seen anyone like get possessed or anything with being in this field? Or
that's a really good question. I don't personally think I have heard of anyone on YouTube being possessed. I have heard of people like off YouTube that are connected to some of the locations being possessed or followed.
Really?
Yeah.
And you got to get like priests involved with that, or how does that work?
I honestly assume so.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's probably where you bust out the sage, bring a priest, everything, do all that type of stuff.
That's scary.
That's something I'm never trying to be involved in.
Yeah, nah. You see those movies, man. It's just like, But I don't know. You never know.
Yeah. Do you guys ever have to like take like proper precautions to do what you guys are doing? Like, do you get like the salt and do all that type of shit, or?
Well, we always bring holy water.
Okay.
Like sometimes my friends bring holy water just in case. And I guess I'm religious, which people are like, why are you religious and you ghost hunt? I'm just, I believe that spirits are here and I believe religion, so like prayers for me, that's kind of like my protection barrier.
Yeah. Bring the rosary with you. Start praying, man.
Okay. So do you think with being religious, doing what you're doing and getting like more and more evidence has made your religion stronger?
I would say, it definitely makes me believe in like afterlife. Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See, that's the thing that I find so interesting about it, is because like it could just make you believe even more. Cause like I mean, I guess I wouldn't say I'm like religious, but I believe in like God. So seeing things like that are something that can like really be like, yes, there is something else out there.
Yeah, for sure. Have you experienced any like kind of like hate for doing what you do? Like, is there? I'm curious if there's people out there that are against what you're doing.
Probably the religious people.
Oh,
certainly. Really? That's funny because, like, I mean, it talks about, ghosts and stuff in certain religions, but some people are like, oh, that's evil. It's demonic. And you shouldn't be playing with those kind of things. But I don't really go in with the intention to draw anything evil. I go in with the intention to find evidence and learn stories, about.
It's just like curiosity. It's not like you're going in there with a bad intention at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you have I forget if Trent was telling us that you have a collection of like haunted items.
I do have one doll that's haunted. I do have like a shelf of dolls I've gotten from like eBay and stuff that allegedly were supposed to be haunted, which I don't think most of them are. I have one doll though that I did catch on camera moving her eyes left to right, and I still can't explain that.
No.
See, to me that sounds like that would be my answer for the most crazy evidence. That is
actually
insane.
Probably one of the most crazy things I've gotten on camera. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
It scares me.
So you were just filming the doll and the eyes just started moving?
Yeah, and she doesn't have eyes. So I don't know how to explain that. I'd have to show you guys, but she has hollow, like her eyes are pushed to the bottom of her head.
Yeah.
So they're flat. Like I guess she had eyes and they were pushed down, but I was holding her and all of a sudden her eyes popped up and they went left to right.
Whoa.
So I physically don't know how to debunk it.
Yeah.
I've still been like putting the doll on like different things, like seeing if her eyes just like roll around in her head.
And it's just never happened again.
No. She's never done anything since that.
Wow.
I did have one other doll named Rose that I'm still debating if she's haunted or not. She fell off my shelf one night by herself and that was it. So I don't know.
Yeah. You just found the doll on the floor or you heard it?
Yeah, I was sleeping in bed and I had her in my old shelf in my old bedroom and she just plopped in the middle of the night.
Man, so
she's pretty heavy.
The doll that moved the eyes, though, what's the story with that doll? Where did you get that?
So I got her at an antique store by my house, and it was funny because they labeled her haunted, and I was just joking around. I was like, "Ooh, haunted!" Like, you know, when people usually like say it's haunted, it's usually not.
Yeah. And how much was it? I
think she was only like $20 or something.
$20 for an item that says haunted. They're like, you could take it.
Yeah, and she was labeled number 666. So I was like, okay, they're definitely joking.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't believe it at all. Like, I bought her for a video to be like, ooh, she's haunted. And then I caught her moving, which is kind of funny.
Holy shit. Do you ever try to, like, use some of your equipment with these dolls?
Yeah, I've tried to use my equipment with them, and I haven't had them touch a REM pod or anything yet. Or
okay.
They've moved like spirit rods.
Yeah.
They can do that, but spirit box, sometimes I get different voices, and I don't know if it's them or something else. But
no, it sounds like, because when Trent first told us, I was like, man, it really sounds like The Conjuring. Like they have that room, you know, with all the locks on it, and it has all those different haunted items, like from past, you know, things that they've done. I was like, dude, that kind of sounds like that shit.
Yeah, I'm eventually trying to build it up to get some more to put in there, because it's just like this. I have this loft in my new house, and it's all Haunted Mansion theme, if you guys know the ride, the Disney ride.
Hell yeah.
So I bought like the actual wallpaper from the ride, and I have just this one shelf with my dolls that just sit there. So
that's so
it's
dope.
Kind of fun, yeah.
That was like my first, I think, like Disney ride ever when I was a kid.
That's awesome.
And I've loved it ever since. That's dope.
So
that's awesome.
This doesn't scare the shit out of you, just having these like in your house?
No, I think they're cute. I mean, they're fun.
Holy shit. Yeah, that's a great ass question, bro.
I feel like that shit would just make me feel uneasy all the time.
I mean, they're fun to me. It's like kind of just like decorations.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like they're just like my little collectibles. And I think it's fun like having people come upstairs and be like, wait a minute. And they look over to the corner and they're like, oh.
I would be scared of having like a Toy Story situation, man. Like I go somewhere, all of a sudden they're up partying or doing some crazy ritual or some shit. I come back and they're all in different places.
Bro, that was a good ass question right there.
That's what I would be scared of.
Yeah. No, I would. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know if I would do that, but I think it's dope that you you know what I'm saying, that you do that shit.
Oh yeah, no, I would love to see it. I just wouldn't love to have it in my house.
Yeah.
Like I want to go to the Zach Bagans thing.
Oh, I love that place.
Wouldn't want to live there though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to live there either.
What is that?
It's a haunted museum.
Is that the museum?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up. I was just gonna ask you, are you trying to make like a mini museum in your house of these like haunted items?
Someday, if I ever got enough, I'd like to open up a place, kind of like Zach Bagans has. I mean, I've been to his museum 5-6 times.
Oh wow.
And it's a pretty long tour, 2 hours each time, and it's incredible what he has there, the collection of items and things that he's gotten. But I'd be scared of, like, obviously I'm sure he's had things go wrong, you know, with the Divic box, and you know, things can hurt people if you don't know how to control those. So I wouldn't want to own anything so dangerous that it's responsible for things, kind of like Robert the Doll or, you know, Annabelle situation. I wouldn't want to deal with one of those, but I'm also very fascinated at the same time, you know.
Hell yeah. How was your like experience at those museums?
Each time is a little different. You know, I've brought a lot of people. I've brought my boyfriend, I've brought my best friend, I've brought my mom. But there was one room in that museum almost every time, except for maybe 1 or 2 of the times that I didn't feel affected, but the rest I did. It was called, oh man, I don't remember. Something with hell. It was a house that had a possession, and they took the dirt from it. They took all the pieces from it. They rebuilt it. And I went in there, and each time I felt like something was trying to choke me out. Like I couldn't breathe.
It's hard to breathe?
Yeah, it was hard to breathe in that room every time. So that was almost unexplainable.
Holy shit. You've had a lot of these unexplainable things
happen.
I mean, that's shit. That would make me a believer too. That's what I'm saying. Like the more and more that happens to you, there's just you're like, damn, I need to convince everyone else that this is real because like it's so obvious to me.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I think that shit's so like I think it's so interesting what you do. Have you thought about like making like I haven't really watched your videos, but like are you making like mini movies based on these stories?
Yeah, like with the places I go to.
Because, like, I would think, like, okay, I mean, you see all these scary movies nowadays, right? Yeah. Like, the paranormal shit. Like, they, some group of kids, they want to go explore this house, and they, set up cameras in every corner, in every room of the house. Have you thought about potentially, like, maybe making, like, a mini movie or something?
It would be cool.
Off of a story? I think that would be sick.
Yeah, definitely the goal for me, like, this next October is I want to do longer videos, like kind of how Sam and Colby are doing, like hour-long videos where I show up at a place, I do the full day there, and I pretty much document as long as I can, Conjuring is on my list of places I really want to do around October. I want to see Robert the Doll. There's a lot of stuff that I want to do and kind of make it into more of a movie feeling so that my audience is like living through the history, learning, how the place was built, why it became haunted, just kind of like stepping through history with paranormal.
Yeah, like I'm really into that. You're literally telling a story.
Yeah, like storytelling.
I think one of my favorite things about Sam and Colby's thing is the reason I get so invested into the videos because they explain so much.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like I love that. You're just like, oh shit, I know everything about this. Now I need to see what happens.
They explain all of the research behind what they're doing and everything. Yeah.
So then you go into it and you're like looking for these specific characters, like these people that could come through on this thing. You're asking these specific people. It's not like you just go in there blind and you're just like, hey, is anyone here? You can ask for a person or some shit.
Exactly, and I think that's important to like if you're gonna go ghost hunting, know exactly who you're talking to as far as like what spirit lived here, like their name, their story, and try to really uncover why they're there and what happened to them, especially if it was something tragic like a murder or unexpected death.
And it helps with like in terms of being safe. You can be like, oh, this spirit that is talking to me right now is a harmless spirit. Exactly. Like I read about that. This is just like a nurse that helped people or something.
Yeah.
And then you could be like, oh, this is the dude that killed 40 people or some shit. Yeah. Like you need to know that type of stuff.
You do.
Yeah, that would be like, I don't know. I feel like for you, like that'd be so sick. Like finding a story even that nobody knows about.
Yeah.
Like it could be from the past or something, but let's say, I mean, this sounds fucking wild to say, but like, let's say you found like a house where like a bunch of people got murdered in or something.
Yeah.
And then you figure out this whole story that's never, been really told before or brought to the public. And then you go and bring it to the public.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that are more, I guess, gifted, like psychics and stuff, who do those things where they'll do investigations and try to figure out what happened, because there are some like unsolved cases and stuff like that. So that's really interesting what you can do even with devices as a paranormal investigator.
Yeah. Do you know any psychics or have you worked with any psychics before?
Yeah, my friend Kelsey Davies. I've worked with her in one video recently and she's extremely gifted. She can see spirits. She gets messages through them directly. They come to her and they talk to her in dreams and in real time. So that's really cool.
How the hell does that happen?
I think she was just naturally like
gifted
when as soon as she was a child this was happening and she thought it was normal. She was telling me in the car the other day, she's like, oh, when I was younger I thought that was normal. I didn't realize that this doesn't happen to everybody else. And then she said that the Queen Mary really woke her up too because she saw all these people and they realized she was like, hey, do you see them? And her friends were like, no.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, so she has a really crazy gift.
Yeah, I think that's interesting because I feel like a lot of kids have that like ability naturally, and then there's something about it when they get older they lose the ability. There's some way where you're able to stay in touch with it, and I don't know what it is, but
yeah, bro, how come every scary movie it's always the kids that are seeing shit?
Well, okay, if you think about it, like kids have like imaginary friends and shit, like
yeah,
you never know what that could mean. They could actually be talking to a spirit or some shit the whole time. Kids,
I damn near still have an imaginary friend. I be talking to myself sometimes.
Do you see it shit?
No, I don't see shit, though.
I was going to say, some kids, like, I feel like when I was a kid, I used to see the craziest things all the time. When I was, like, really young. And it would freak me the fuck out, and I would talk to my mom about it. You could talk to my mom about this. It used to scare the shit out of me. Had to sleep with my mom until I was, like, 12.
Well, what were you seeing?
I would just see shit all the time. Like, I just always saw little black things just everywhere, and it would freak me the fuck out just in the corner of my room or some shit. And I'd be like, creepy. Yeah, bro, this isn't cool. I'm sleeping with my mom tonight. I'm good.
So you post these full YouTube videos. I'm curious on how you break it down throughout all of your social media platforms. I'm assuming you're on every single platform, right?
Yeah, I have Instagram, I have TikTok, I do YouTube. I have a few YouTube channels, a few TikToks, a few Instagrams. So I kind of just scatter all of them a little differently. I'd say YouTube is more of just like my main channel, Lyssy Noel, is just all scary stuff. My Instagram is kind of like travel and just fashion, and my TikTok is kind of a mix of everything. My dog even has a TikTok.
Okay.
Or she twerks and just does funny. Yeah.
Is your dog popping on there?
Yeah, she's getting close to 1 million.
What the fuck?
Whoa.
Oh shit.
Dude, a dog. Imagine, dude, a dog having 1 million followers.
That's insane.
Yeah, she got a YouTube play button too recently,
wow.
which I'm proud of.
Really?
So.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So I'm curious on, because we do a lot of, recently with, TikTok being a huge thing.
Yeah.
You have YouTube Shorts now. Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels. I mean, even Snapchat Spotlight was a thing. That was a thing. Is YouTube Shorts like a go-to thing for you in terms of growth, would you say? Like, are you flooding it a little bit with those?
I would say now that it's become a thing, I'd say that I'd put more of my time into YouTube Shorts than I would even my TikTok. I've gained way more subscribers on YouTube Shorts in a few matter of months with putting my time there, even with my dog's channel. That's where I started experimenting first, and she hit 100K. I was like, oh, okay, time to do that on my main channel. And it really does help a lot. I'd say way more than TikTok. TikTok was great, I'd say a few years ago. Like, I got 4.5 million on TikTok. Like, you know, it was easy to grow there. Now it's like you can't even grow.
Yeah.
But YouTube Shorts, absolutely.
Damn. So how many subscribers would you say your main channel has gained through Shorts, or do you not even know?
I haven't even looked, but I'd say there's certain Shorts where you can gain up to 100K subscribers if one just goes viral.
Yeah. That's wild. I know SHOOTABIRDIE got crazy subs off one short. I think like a couple 100,000, 500,000 subs off one.
It's crazy what one can do. It can really boost you.
Yeah. So I'm curious, do you notice that your subscribers from the YouTube Shorts are helping your long form videos?
That's a really good question. I've looked a lot into that, and I would say maybe a small percentage. And I feel like they have a shorter attention span. Like, they're there for the short form content, but not always for the long form, which is interesting to me.
It is very interesting because, I mean, I just do a lot of basketball content and stuff on my main channel, but like a lot of the subscribers that I am getting, they're like, they have the little, analytics shit where you could see all the back end stuff. Not a lot of them are sticking around to watch the full videos.
Isn't that crazy? And it's the same kind of content.
And exactly. Yeah. It is really interesting.
That's why when Shorts first came out, I had like a weird battle with it in my head, because I was like, is this like worth it if they don't stay for the long form? Because obviously like the long form is what you put all your time and attention and like passion into. So at first that's how I thought, but if they're staying for the short form, at least they're staying for something. You're captivating them for something.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's crazy. I had a buddy who had, he probably had Jesser. What do you have? 3 million at one point, and then also now he's at like 13 million subscribers.
Wow.
Like literally
in the last year.
Gained 10 million subs in probably not even the last year.
Yeah, probably like the last 9 months.
Jeez.
Shit, maybe like less.
Nah, it's been a while now. Your timing's off. your time's always off.
I don't know. It's just still crazy.
No, it is crazy. 10 million in any amount of months is crazy.
In like less than a year.
Yeah, 10 months in 10 years is crazy.
When I seen that shit, I was like, all right, well, I guess we're going to be putting some of our energy towards YouTube Shorts.
Definitely. You guys have to almost. It's like every platform's trying so hard
to replicate TikTok.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, that's great, but now we have to do the Instagram. We have to do this, that. And it's like, okay, well, now everyone's trying to just be TikTok.
Yeah. Are you ever bothered by that? Like when you are on Instagram and you're just like, damn, I just want to see my friend shit. And now I'm looking at like all these random reels of like some, I don't know, aesthetic looking shit. But I'm like, hey, where's my boy Dante? This shit ain't popping up no more.
It's changed. Like they really conformed it to be, competing with the other apps. Yeah. Like it's not even about photos anymore. No. It's about videos.
Yeah, and it's not about seeing your friends anymore. It's completely like it's a social media workers app now. It's not about your friends anymore.
It's kind of frustrating because I used to really love taking photos, and now ever since they changed it, like I haven't seen growth on my Instagram in like a year. I'm stuck, and I'm actually going down. So I don't know how to win with that.
I feel you.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, Instagram, I think they should, go back to what they were originally doing.
Well, it's interesting because
come on, man.
It's very hard to, like, it sucks. I hate the way it is right now, but let's say you, for example, you've still gained 200,000 followers since they made the change.
Yeah.
And
shout out to Reels, though.
And that's what I mean.
Here's the
that's
thing,
what I mean.
The thing is pictures
are dead.
They're dead.
They do horrible for me, numbers wise, compared to the Reels and the videos and shit.
Yeah, like you'll never post a picture that gets 2 million likes. You posted a Reel, 2 mil. The one that has 50 million views or some shit. That would never happen before.
No, yeah, for real. But that one definitely hit some sort of For You page to like
it was unbelievable. But
it's
interesting because there's advantages as a creator, but there's also disadvantages, and I think it really disadvantages like people that don't do social media like that. Like they just want to see their friends. Like fuck.
Hell yeah.
Or that, or people who are like, I guess, photographers.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that kind of hurts them because they're expected to post videos now.
Yeah, now you have to become more of a videographer in that sense. Because like when I scroll through Reels, it's like all cinematic videography clips.
It's beautiful stuff though. I do like it gets you like hooked. Like you watch a cool video.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Yeah, no, I be doing that shit. I be scrolling. I'm like, dude, this sound matches this video like perfectly, and then you're like, I know why this video has millions of views because this is a beautiful video with a beautiful sound in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm very curious. I got one more thing to talk about before we get out of here. What are, like, over the years you've been growing and stuff, what are your brand deals looking like? Do you have management? Like, are you working, making money on the side with brand deals?
Yeah, so I do a lot of like TikTok brand deals. So for a while, like when my TikTok was doing really good, and still even now, like I'll get paid to use sounds. So like,
oh shit,
yeah,
nice.
Like you'll have like, I don't know, like Lady Gaga will do a promotion and they go through like an agency and they'll send them to a bunch of TikTokers and be like, okay, do this dance to Rain, or whatever, and then they send you a trend and you replicate it. So a lot of like the TikTokers, like you see Charli D'Amelio and all them, when they're doing like the dances or whatever, like they're being paid to do that.
Yep.
Along with like me and all these other creators. And then I work with Shein, and that's probably my biggest one right now. I model for Shein.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's
that's
really cool.
Dope.
So they'll send me clothes and then they'll run campaigns where I'm like on their website and you'll see me on there, and that's really exciting.
Hell yeah.
I've done like Hello Kitty, I've done Dolls Kill, I've done all sorts of like beauty and like makeup and fashion because I'm also into that. So I try to include that on my Instagram and on my TikTok where I'll teach people, makeup or hair and outfits and fashion like that. As far as like paranormal, I've never had anything like super scary, but I have had like deals with like games, where they think it like connects with my main channel thing, like scary app games and stuff like that.
Yeah. Does anyone ever like send you a mystery box or something and they're just like, we need you to open this or whatever for this amount?
No, I wish. I know one time like I've had deals that I turned down. It was like some gambling mystery box. I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
That's the Rice Gum thing. I remember that.
Yeah, can't be promoting
that. No, I can't
shit.
be doing that.
No. I have one more question I just thought of before we get out of here. What do your parents think of all of this stuff you're doing?
So my family at first, like when I was doing it, like they were worried about my safety. Like, oh, you're going to put yourself online. Like it's scary. Yeah. You can have stalkers, which I've had issues with stalkers, especially being a young girl online. It's kind of dangerous.
It's wild.
Yeah, because I used to do a lot of live streaming, and you get some people in there that just... they're really creepy. Like they leak your address, they find your stuff. I've had issues with that. But over time, my mom has become supportive of it. Obviously they're a little scared, like, oh, are you sure that you should be going to these haunted places? Like, what if you get hurt or have an attachment? But like at the same time, they're like really happy that, I'm doing what I do and they're proud of that. So that's really exciting.
Doing what you love to do.
Yeah.
Essentially. Well, shit, that's dope. Thanks for coming to the crib.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you guys for having me on here.
Yeah, that was very I'm happy we did this. I'm very interested in this ghost stuff and everything you do. I think we definitely have to do something in the future where I pull up for some shit, because I would definitely freak out. But for everyone listening in, all of her social medias will be in the description. Make sure you guys go subscribe to her YouTube channel and check out all of her other social media. I'm Tristan Jass.
I'm Young Trench. Peace out, guys.
Bye.
Peace.